Oh, look. It's my castmates. I was just drinking a toast. Cheers to you. I've hated every minute of working with you assholes.
Hey, and
Hey,
we're
everybody.
here. Oh, okay. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Back on a weekend where there's nothing out. there is nothing out. The only movie that's getting like I think the most screens this weekend is the David Oyelowo thriller that looks like Frequency, but it's not in Springfield. I think that the closest it's playing I think is Savoy, which is like 90 minutes away.
Okay.
Oh shit! At one point, I may have to run in the other room and grab the adapter for the laptop. But I don't know.
The battery.
It seems to be like we might get through this. At least,
Honestly, that'll be the most suspenseful part of this entire,
Yeah.
review. Is that will the battery on the laptop last?
it's
For the whole review. So,
if it's
stay
generated,
tuned.
if it's generated on the same power as the animals from this movie, then we might be all right.
So-
or if so we were about 15, 16 minutes late this time. So there was a guy in the chat right beforehand who goes like, "Hey, I'm here. Did I miss the review?" We only went 10 minutes. It was the shortest one that we've done. The shortest midnight screening since I think
That's right.
the first one.
welcome to the show. It was all right. Bye.
Yeah. So you were out doing a Christmas movie coming out.
Yes, yeah. So I was back to work again, editing on another Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really say much about it, but yes, there's. If you're worried that there aren't going to be any Christmas movies coming out this year on TV,
There's gonna be plenty.
there's going to be plenty.
Yeah.
And my name will at least be on a couple of them. So
That's more productive than my week. Basically, my last couple of days has been I don't know if I like this new hat because the hat that I've been wearing. Yeah, here's the height of my problem. The hat that I've been wearing, I lost in Chicago. I think I accidentally left it at a restaurant there.
No.
I think I couldn't find it unless it's just buried deep in Rob's place. So I came back, go to the store. I'm like, all right, I need to pick up like another hat or something, and I see like, oh sweet, Nintendo 64. Yeah, I'll get that. I probably should learn to kind of try these on and see how they look before I buy them because I don't know if I like this.
yeah, it's a bold statement. I'd say.
I look like what NES Paperboy would look like now.
That's the.
Yeah.
I want to see this movie actually.
It looks like I'm of two minds about most things. One is blueberry and the other is sour apple.
Right. Yeah.
Just put this on our store or something, or just keep it on in the video so people people who come in later on can be like, the hell is that on?
Right.
You lose a bed or something.
Is that a beanie without the propeller?
Yeah. Hey guys, what's up? I'll pick my wife up from the airport looking like this. She's still on visiting family when she comes to the airport. Honey, you're never gonna guess. I was just involved in a body swap comedy. I am actually 10 years old right now.
Oh.
I look like an idiot. Of course I bought this at the mall, but I don't look like I belong in the mall. I look like a creepy guy who's gonna get asked to leave any minute.
That's true, yeah. The moment you put it on in the mall, they're like, sir, you should probably leave.
Hello, my fellow mall goers. How about that hot topic, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah. That's a nifty stuff in there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Where's Aladdin's castle? What do you mean it closed 15 years ago?
I think there's more than 15.
There's still some of those around, too.
Are there really?
Yeah, I was at a mall with Laura, somewhere, either Chicago or DC. Those are the two main places we go. But yeah, one of them had an Aladdin's castle in there. Right. Yeah, they're still around. It's like, any minute now I'm going to run into a Circus World.
Yeah. Yeah, good arcade. That's what's missing. You're right.
Yeah.
A lot of malls do have good arcades in them.
Oh, yeah.
Ours does not anymore. That's a shame.
No, not
That's
anymore. Unless you count the massage chair. You can put quarters in that.
I win every time.
Yeah,
So
it's kind of like that Uncle Fester game.
Oh, yeah.
You hold on to the things that shocks your hands. So how does it feel to be a Troma director now?
Pretty damn awesome. Yeah, this is a huge bit of news that we teased a little while ago, and we are so excited about this. Another Cinema Snob movie and Jesus Bro have both been picked up by Troma to be featured on their new streaming service, Troma Now. And yeah, you can actually get what was it, a free trial membership, right?
Yeah, they do trial memberships.
You can
over
do
there.
a trial membership, and you can go on there. You can see both of our movies there if you don't already have our movies.
I think it's starting September 1st is when they
starting
premiere
September
on there.
1st, but also you'll have access to all of other Troma movies and a bunch of other great independent films that they pick up as well.
Yeah, they have the classic Troma movies on there. They have the whole Troma library. They're always adding stuff on there every month. They have original series. They have documentaries. So the link's in the description. If you go to watch.troma.com, that'll take you there. And yeah, they do offer trial memberships as well. Plus, yeah, you get to see our movie. You get to see another Cinema Snob movie and Jesus Bro.
Which is so awesome that they picked it up. And the email that went out, it's just so cool, right?
It's really cool.
I mean, from everything that we've done, how much we've just loved Troma movies over the years, to get Lloyd to be in the movie and then and now have been picked up by Troma is just so cool.
It is.
It's so cool.
And yeah, he's been tweeting it out like crazy. And the Troma Now Twitter account has as well, which has been great because I've been quote tweeting it as well because I'm like, I'm not getting tired of this. Being having our movies be residents of Tromaville
is amazing.
Yes,
it's fantastic.
So that's what he said.
It is
that's
fantastic.
what he said over on Twitter. So yeah, if you go to watch.troma.com, that is their streaming service. That is their streaming service for, again, Troma movies, our movies, and plenty of other stuff too. And if you go there, you will get you can sign up for a 30-day membership. So starting September 1st is when you'll be able to see our last couple of movies on there. We only have, again, like I said, we only got one movie tonight. We got the Banana Splits movie. I mean, we had, you got back when we did. Poor Gino and I had 6 the other night. That's over in the archives right now. I'm like, well, given that nothing came out this weekend, guess we could have saved 3 of those for later.
True.
Oops,
yeah.
But yeah, well, a few of those I don't think are playing in Springfield anymore. So we kind of had to get into those when we could. That one movie is that supernatural thriller, whatever it is that, but it didn't come here. And Gino and I were saying, I think someone in the super chat asked about the Banana Splits movie, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll watch it. I'll review that when it comes out. Sure. Unbeknownst to me, it actually is already out.
Yeah, it came out earlier this summer, I believe.
Has it been out that long?
I think so. I remember seeing an advert, like a video ad or something that was talking about it, and I remember recognizing it, and then when you told me about let's review this movie, I was like, oh yeah, that movie.
Sure. I'm like, it was either that or Marlon Wayans' Sextuplets.
Oh.
I'm like, I guess I don't. That's not even a thought. Yes, I'll do the slasher movie.
Yeah.
Unless the Marlon Wayans movie turns into a slasher movie, that might be kind of interesting.
That'd be quite a twist.
Oh yeah. It's like, ooh, this is surprising. It's one of the best horror movies of the year. But yeah, we've got the Banana Splits movie to talk about. But before then, subscribe to our channel. We're at youtube.com/StonedGremlin Productions. You can also follow us on Twitter at The Cinema Snob, and you can follow us on Instagram at The Cinema Snob as well. We're at lots of places at Facebook.com/The Cinema Snob. And we had the 6 movies we reviewed the other day, plus we got the Snob episode on Stephen King's It that was posted up last Monday, so if you haven't gotten a chance to check that out, that's there. You can subscribe to us on Patreon at patreon.com/The Cinema Snob. This Monday's Snob episode is on there, and it's for High School Musical.
Yes.
So you can go on there and check that out. You seen that movie?
Oh my God, yeah, I've seen that movie.
It was my first time, because, I mean, why would I have seen that?
Why would you have seen that, yeah.
I hadn't seen it before, so watch the episode of Patreon to see what I think. Let's cut to a clip right now of the Banana Splits movie, and we'll be right back to talk about this flick. And I see a couple of people have already as well. If you contribute over to our super chat questions and comments always get read in between and at the end of the reviews. We just got one review tonight, so they'll all be read once we get done talking about the Banana Splits movie, which basically is, long story short, like they wanted to make a Five Nights at Freddy's movie, but that's... couldn't do it, and so it's a Banana Splits movie.
Right.
That's what it really comes across as. There's even a... I saw this on IMDb, but I don't know how true it is. Maybe. It wouldn't surprise me if this was true, where it said that this was like a script that was it was a rejected script for a Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Okay.
But I don't know how true that is.
Yeah, I mean...
It wouldn't. If it were, it wouldn't surprise me.
No, it wouldn't surprise me either, because this was absolutely, let's make Five Nights at Freddy's into a movie.
But it has... one of my favorite IMDb trivia entries.
What is that?
Because loosely based on a show, except the show had no killing.
How many people found that interesting?
Okay, let me put it back.
Put it back. What? 8 out of 19 found that interesting?
11 people didn't?
What?
Lame. 11 people are lame-os. That is interesting. 11 people are like, whatever.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
okay.
man. So this movie, like, I am not... I love the idea of this.
Sure,
where it is a
yeah.
children's show property. Granted, I never saw this show.
No, Hanna-Barbera is who owned it.
Sid and Marty. It was a Sid and Marty Krofft thing.
Yeah.
That started in the late 60s for a couple seasons, but has had stuff since then. I think there was something on Cartoon Network where it was brought back some years ago. There was a TV movie in the 70s, so its original run only lasted a couple of years, but it has had stuff related to it since then. I just kind of know of it by name. I never saw this. I don't remember this thing ever being in syndication.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
So I don't have really any emotional attachment to this.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, kind of same with Five Nights at Freddy's, because I've never played Five Nights at Freddy's before.
Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's came out... it was targeted. It's become super popular with like high school and younger age kids. Because a friend of mine has his daughter, was or at least was a couple of years ago, super into it, and she was like in 8th grade. So it became adopted very much by a younger culture, and it's super popular. I mean, it's a super popular.
Oh,
game,
it totally is. Laura likes it a lot.
It's a fun concept. It's
is.
You're at a basically Chuck E. Cheese in the middle of the night, and you're trying to ward off these terrifying, animatronic monsters. There's even a VR game of it now, which is also terrifying because you can't hide by the fact that you're actually in the room.
Yeah.
So it's a fun concept, and again, you think you said it before. This movie is a fun concept.
No, it totally is, and I mean I can certainly relate to growing up going somewhere like Showbiz Pizza, which became Chuck E. Cheese.
But it had the giant mechanical things playing the piano
and one thing that it says it's the first, like it's one of the first, if not the first, like children's program to be adapted into an R-rated movie or something like that, because this is a horror film.
It's a hard R.
It is. It's a slasher movie, and that to me, like, I'm like, it's certainly a novel concept. Like, there's some ambition there. Like, and I'm like, that opens the door for a lot of different things. Where it's like what if there's Oscar the Grouch, but it's hobo with a shotgun? Like, you could do plenty of things with this. Sure. Like, it's Fred Penner's place, but he's also the stepfather. like so many like doors you could open with this. And so the movie is. It starts out where it's about this family and the little kid, it's his birthday, and for his favorite show is the Banana Splits, and for his birthday, they give him tickets to go see a taping of the Banana Splits. And so they go do this, but then you see that the characters are these robots just kind of designed by this weird dude who like lives in the basement. The human star of the show is an alcoholic. The show is kind of on its last legs, and then eventually the network does cancel it, which kicks in the robot's evil mode. And it's sort of like a golden ticket situation where there's like 5 or 6 people in the audience who have won the chance to go backstage and meet the stars of the Banana Splits because that's Brightburn, but it's Bible Man. It turns into a slasher movie where the robots are crazy. They know their show has been canceled, and they just go ballistic against like the network head that's in there, the producer, the alcoholic star.
That's the thing, is that it's not like Target.
Well, they kill the humans if they just kidnap the kids.
Yeah, and like
we're not that evil.
It's strange because the overall, this movie I felt was more or less fine. You know, it was like it's all right. I mean, I wasn't expecting wonderful, great things. It was all right. I mean, but like my biggest problems with it were, one, it was a huge info dump of the whole first exposition 20 minutes of the movie, you know.
Sure.
Here's all these people. Here's the birthday. Here's the father. He's a dick. This is this person. These are those people. This is the network executive. The network executive. This is the producer. The producer doesn't like this. Here's the page. There's just a lot of information that they really crammed into you on who all these people are. And it kind of does something that a lot of horror movies do, which is really, or slasher movies. Well, a lot of slasher movies do that I hate, which is these people are all assholes.
Oh.
So they're obviously going to die.
Sure.
And then here's like the 3 people who aren't assholes. So it's like, instead of it being like, oh God, there's real risk, it's like, well, all of them are dead, and these are the only people we're going to follow.
Yeah.
And like, I know that all of them do that nowadays.
No, like what you're hitting on is something that I've said before, which is that like, ever since horror movies, there's always the characters that you know are going to die. But but where a slasher movie will do it wrong, and it's something I more so see in slasher movies of like maybe the last 10 years where they make everybody like that.
Yeah.
As opposed to in the 80s where it'd be like, there'd be some of the jerky people. But there'd also be like a lot of fun characters you'd be following too.
But that it ups the risk in the ante when there's good people that are in peril, right? Like, you know, you knew that there were a couple characters that were never really going to be in peril. Or, I mean, like actual, like, mortal peril. I mean, they're going to get scratched or hit or something, whatever. But, like, it's like, oh, these people are just, you know, these other characters are just livid assholes.
Yeah.
And obviously bad things are going to happen to them. And there's kind of the you want to see it happen for certain characters that are definitely, like, evil or really just awful people.
Oh, like,
but it's just like, you know that there's no like mystery anymore. It's like you're just waiting for it to happen.
I mean, sure. I mean, there's the characters. Like, I didn't think everybody in this movie was unlikable, really. But I wouldn't go so, because like there's characters like the mom who's fine. And
sure,
like,
absolutely. No, and I thought she was really. I thought she was actually really good.
Yeah, no, there are. I mean, but at the same time, like I won't go so far as to say there's any character that I necessarily really loved in this. I mean, you know, like, I got a clip right here. Like, you know that this guy, the drunk guy, the drunk star of the show, like, is gonna get it, like, pretty quick. And here's a clip of that. Yeah, I'll get to the effects in a minute, but like...
True, yeah.
But, where I kind of come down on this movie is that there's a lot you could really do with this, and there's even this kind of thing, not necessarily something based on a kid's property turned into an R-rated thing, but like, this type of thing, like, you could really make this, like, really insane. Whether you want to go, like, straight up horror route, comedy route, or both. I mean, odds are it's going to be, you do a movie like this, it's going to be a mixture of both.
Right.
But, like, you can go absolute, like, batshit insane with this. You can do something like Meet the Feebles, like Peter Jackson did, which is just, like, crazy, and it's kind of awesome.
Yeah. Right.
You could go like wild camp over the top, like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, where the clowns come down from space, turning people into like cotton candy and shit, and making like poor John Vernon into a ventriloquist dummy.
Right.
Like, you can really like
like
nothing's really off limits.
Exactly.
Like you can absolutely you can really take this and just sink your teeth into it. Like, you can just be crazy. Especially because this is based on a kid's property.
Right.
You could really just, to take like that and just go the full Meet the Feebles with it would be ballsy, and it would be kind of cool. Like, it would certainly be memorable. The problem with this movie is that it is just standard.
It is, yeah. It was very safe.
Yeah.
Since the robots were supposed to be the main heavy villains of these things, they were definitely creepy, but like they were not like terrifying. They were not menacing. And it's not until really this moment here that you're seeing, which is much later into the film, that they start getting the like fuzzy parts of them torn off, and you see the terrifying robot parts underneath. But it took a long time to get there, and before they could really get there, it just felt like these are guys in suits.
Thank you.
And like these don't feel like menacing robots. Like, as you think about the character design, again, you can't review this movie without drawing a lot of parallels to Five Nights at Freddy's.
Totally.
The robots in Five Nights at Freddy's are menacing as hell, right? Even when they're in their not terrorizing form, they're still menacing looking.
Yeah.
So that when they switch to being monsters, it's like, yep, that's a monster. Holy shit, that's scary. But these things, they weren't menacing. It's a guy in a big fuzzy suit, and he's just kind of walking around, and like, they do the, spin around in the stinger, but it's the guy in the elephant suit. And it's just like, it's a guy in an elephant suit. Like, that's not, I mean, it's like, that's kind of creepy, but it's not like, oh shit, like menacing.
No, you actually like hit on a really good point, and it was what I was thinking in the movie too, which is that from the beginning that these are robots inside of in the movie world,
right.
That these are robots inside of there. Their eyes glow red early on in the thing.
When when they're not on stage, they make very obvious.
Oh yeah, I'll pull up a clip here in a second, but no, it never. There's never a point where it doesn't feel like it's just some guy in a suit.
It's totally,
like, where it doesn't feel like... I'm never sitting there thinking, like, oh my god, that's totally like an android under there or something. It feels like it's a person in a suit, and it feels like this is sound effects put in post when they're walking around. They
get that moment again where the fuzzy thing is pulled off, but it never really has the Terminator moment, you know? Because, Arnold is Arnold, but then when it goes full, all the flesh and everything's gone, and it's that terrifying skeleton robot thing, like that's, it never really gets that. It never really gets to there, because it's all, even when the things get pulled off, it's obviously still an actor in a suit, and they've just altered the mask to now have like robot parts on it.
Yeah, because even as a slasher movie, like costuming and things like that aside, just like in regards to costuming, again, something like Killer Clowns is heads above this
menacing.
Movie. Yeah,
they're menacing.
Like, it's wildly above this movie, and with this, even the slasher movie aspects of it, I wasn't sitting there just thinking, it was an in one ear and out the other movie for me, where I wasn't sitting there thinking, well, this is one of the worst horror movies I've seen recently. It just felt like a slasher. This felt like the kind of slasher movie you would have seen in that point in the 90s where slashers were on the decline. Before it kind of had a resurgence there with Scream. Like, this felt like it was like something out of the decline era, where, again, it probably would have been dumped on cable or video or something like that. It just is what it is. It's these guys going around in furry suits, just killing these people, and it should certainly be more memorable than that, funnier than that, more menacing than that.
And the comedy thing, I think, is a good point in this, is that they play the movie completely straight, which is fine, which is good. I mean, it's better to play it's better to play it like that, but because of the very silly things that are going on, there should have been more jokes in it. Like, there should have been more, because I mean, horror and comedy have effectively the same beats. You use the same sort of strokes to get to the end, There's a setup and a payoff, and it's a punchline in a comedy, and it's a stab in a horror. There's a setup, a build, and then a payoff. So you can do those same type of beats.
Yeah.
And, they really never really went that way. It was always just very straight, very drama, very, and...
That made the characters, like, kind of lame. Like, it made them, like, if they weren't, like, an asshole, they were just kind of forgettable. And any humor that was out of it was just kind of from the voices from the characters. Like, I got this clip right here that I'll show. It's one of the death scenes in the movie where there's a couple characters in it. One's an Instagram celebrity, and he is live streaming during, like, right before he gets killed, and he's with this woman that he proposes to. He's like a Banana Splits super fan in this, so we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
What's up, you guys? It's your boy Thad, Mr. Thadtastic to all my fans. What the hell? Legal? No! Poppy! Please! Let me out!
Poor Bicycle. Were you thinking that too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching it go. The character Corey Goodwin plays in another Cinema Snob movie, who's a Twitch gamer named Bicycle.
Kind of a tone deaf, kind of, goofball of a character.
I know. I go watching this scene. It was right for Bicycle to do his live streaming outside of the Evil Clown convention.
That's right. He didn't go inside.
He didn't go inside and do it. So you're perfectly safe doing it out there.
Yeah.
You let me and Tamara handle the Evil Clowns.
Exactly. Yeah.
Until you have to go in there.
Until you have to go in there. Yeah, it's. I will. I mean, should we talk? The one of the things I did enjoy of the film, or at least I thought they did pretty well, was the gore effects.
Yeah, for the most part,
Yeah.
because there is a lot of practical gore effects in it. I mean, like, I toned down what you just saw.
Yeah,
like,
he gets cut in half in that scene, and then later he pulls it apart, and all the guts and stuff fall out.
Oh yeah, I got another thing later to show. Like, for the most part, yeah, they certainly spent a lot of time putting the guts together, putting like a lot of these, making the
the throat thing,
the lollipop on the throat. I mean, it was like.
It was broke his jaw.
Yeah, I know. I had some other issues with how they did that, but like the throat thing, it was like that was something.
Yeah,
kind of cool.
It was kind of fun. I mean, I like the how they wanted to do that. Sure, that's cool. That's
the only problem that I had with any of the gore effects in this movie was, again, the movie never really the most over the top it goes is the gore, totally, but never to the point to where I'm like, whoa, or anything like that.
Yeah.
Never to the point to where I'm like, okay, I gotta throw this on at like a movie party.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. It's just a standard slasher movie that happens to be pretty gory in parts. The only problem I really had with the effects is, like, once in a while there would be like a good effect of like a limb missing or something like that, but then there would be this CG blood splurt come out of it. I'm like, why did you do that?
Yeah,
that just completely took away with how fine this effect was.
Like a girl like one of the robots breaks this girl's arm and twists it completely around, and so it's this rubber like snapping bone arm thing, and then later they show it.
Yeah, like,
and then later they make her climb a ladder and she's climbing it with both hands. It's like.
I didn't even think don't worry, I got you. I got that clip.
Oh, you do? Okay, good, yeah.
But
so
I didn't even think about that.
Oh my God, her wrist
is
completely destroyed. It's like, now climb the ladder. Okay, let's go to the ladder.
No, that was like the one kind of relatively creative scene, I thought, where they make a couple of characters run through this obstacle course that's on that show,
right,
and that even made me think. I mean, I don't think it went as far as it could, but compared to everything else in the movie, I thought, well, this is kind of a standout scene. Again, it made me think, like, you could do a lot of, you could, like, make some House of Horrors on the Double Dare set or something like that.
Which again is a cool idea.
Yeah, or like play like the Bozo game with eyeballs and a bucket. Like, you could do so much.
Right, yeah.
But so I'll pull up that clip right here. They make a couple of these characters run through this thing. It's shortened from how it is in the movie, but you get a gist of it.
Where's the blue key?
It's time to fly!
I did it!
Oh, yeah, there she goes,
Giant hammer.
And I think he says something stupid after
He
that.
says, it's hammer time, which is like,
Does he?
or like, something hammery thing. Like
Okay.
that.
So he's all caught up on 90s pop culture, at least.
Yay.
Yeah, like that, again, it was a good gore shot with the girl. Like, you see a little bit more of that later. That, I was like, there were ideas in this movie where it's like, if this wasn't so first drafty, it feels that way. Yeah. And I could see why if this is a rejected script for Five Nights at Freddy, I can see that. Because, like, it is just...
What the story was lacking in so much was, like, the motivation of why this stuff was happening. Like, they felt like they glanced on it.
Yeah.
Like, there's the evil... Well, I guess he was evil or whatever, but the old inventor that created these robots...
Yeah.
He says, oh, well, the show must go on. But, like, and then, like, the updates were, I have to update your programming. You almost hurt a child. And then the program goes wrong.
Yeah,
and then that's just it.
Was he supposed to be a good guy or bad guy? Or...
Right. See, like, this is the thing. This is what was really missing from the story to make it, like, much more of a standout or more of, like why. And there's the pieces that could have been there because, these robots were programmed that the show must go on, right? And then the network wanted to shut it down, and then the robots who already had a programming flaw are like, okay, cool, we'll kill all the adults and kidnap all the kids. So like, but why? And the thing, and this is one of the lessons that I got to learn, working with the asylum. Like, they get a lot of shit for the shitty movies they make, and they'll be the first to say that their movies are kind of shitty. But something that they always said, and that really stuck with me, is that their motivations have to make sense for everything. Even like the monsters, even the other things, there's got to be a motivation for them that makes sense. And I mean, that's just good narrative storytelling anyways, and especially with fiction. Fiction has to make sense. Yeah. Even if it's silly. Even if it's a silly thing, if it's robots from a children's show killing people, or the sharks and the tornadoes or whatever, it's got there has to
make sense in the context of the story.
In the context of the world and to the characters that are doing it, it must make sense. Yeah. And it just didn't. It's just like, other than they wanted to keep their jobs because they're robots. But if it had been, it feels like you could make easy tweaks to make this work, right? Like if you could say that, he programmed them to make sure that the show would go on no matter what. They already had the elements of it in there, but like really amp it up somehow so that like, instead of them just saying, oh, well, you'll be canceled after the show, have the network exec like try to shut down that show. And like, no, I'm shutting it down right now. And the robots are trying to do the show. And then it's like, no, the show must go on, sort of a thing. Because it just seems like they're like, well, we don't want to lose our jobs. What are we going to do? Retire? We're robots. Let's kill everybody.
Yeah, like, it was, you could, again, like, I'm thinking back to other things that are just making me realize how much more this could have done. Like, look at what Richard O'Brien did with Shock Treatment, where it was like a whole town inside of a TV studio, basically. Yeah. Or you could, and even it was like they almost tried to make the studio ominous, but it didn't go enough. Like, it was just kind of dark in there. Like, you really could have made it like really almost kind of foggy and weird in there, like almost like like something out of like Stay Tuned, the John Ritter movie, right? That.
I mean, I'm just came to me what would be a really good idea. The show must go on because the show has to go on. Yeah. As in, there's some evil, dark purpose that if this show isn't on the air, something happens. Like, it's not they don't want to lose their jobs. It's you can't shut down the show. Why not? I'm the network executive. No, you don't understand. Yeah. Evil, horrible things happen if you shut down this show. That's why it's been going on since the 60s. I don't care. I'm the network exec. Shut it down. Evil shit happens. Yeah. Like, there's a better... And again, same movie after that. But, like, now there's like, oh, shit, he unlocked some horrible evil thing that was being... suppressed by this show or something. Like, that seems like a better motivation for why suddenly they just want to kill everybody.
Or even like, as far as the death scenes go, because they are certainly gory, but they're the kinds of death scenes you'd probably see in like a standard circus slasher movie. Like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Again, it's like I said, they're turning people into cotton candy. They're really going all out on the clown deaths and that. And hell, I think that was a PG-13, and it's way more creative, like, with its deaths than this movie is, and this movie's far gorier than that one was. Right. But it's like, okay, it just happens to be a gory movie. One where a movie like this will go wrong is if you sit there watching it thinking it would just simply be... I said this during the Velocipaster review, where it was like, when a movie like this goes wrong, you're mainly sitting there thinking that this would just work better as a fake trailer.
Yeah.
And that's what this is. In fact, even at that, there was... some years ago, there was the fake trailer for a horror movie version of Willy Wonka, and I think it was called Gobstopper, and it was Christopher Lloyd as this evil Willy Wonka type. Look it up. It's pretty damn funny. That's funnier and constantly creepier than really anything you'll find here, and that's like 3 minutes long or something. It's like these. It starts like a slasher movie. These kids are like on a road trip and they find a golden ticket and they're like, oh, we got to check out this old abandoned factory, and it turns into like, slasher movie Willy Wonka, like more so than what it already was. So this, I don't know. I mean, it's a cut above something like, something like the Ginger Dead Man movies or something like that. But it's just kind of a disappointment in thinking about how much farther they could have taken it to do this and really just kind of make this very by the numbers slasher flick. It just makes it kind of a disappointment. It makes it a pretty pointless sit. It's not a long sit. It's under 90 minutes.
It's well, it wasn't. There was some ambition there, so I applaud the director. I forget her name. I looked it up earlier, but
she did that Level 16 movie.
Right. Yeah. So I applaud the ambition that was there, but like it was just like you didn't go far enough, and I mean, who knows why that was, but that was it was. Well, you're right. It's this movie should have gone there. This movie shouldn't have played it safe to be just kind of a by the numbers. This should have gone there. This really should have gone there. It should have gone there with like the evil robot characters. It should have gone there with like the gore, and it should have gone there with honestly, like lighting. Like I think it could.
Same, like I was saying about the audience.
Right. Like the lighting in the movie. The DP, who I also looked up, and name escapes me at the moment. He's an experienced DP. He's worked on a lot of stuff. I feel like you just go for it. Like a lot of the lighting is pretty safe and even. There's a lot of creepy things, but like the clips we just showed, like of the guy being cut in half, like it's lit like a sitcom. I mean, it kind of is. It's like it's not super dark and terrifying and contrasty. To use the lighting to help tell the scene. And like there's other things you can do that, like again, just being more paint by the numbers. It's like, yes, we've got great gore. We've built this great appliance of the guy being ripped apart and his guts coming out. Great, that's cool. But don't let your lighting fall. Don't let the other things fall by the wayside. To make it not as cool as it really could be. So anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad we watched it over sextuplets.
Yes.
But well, I don't know. I should be fair. I haven't seen that movie. Maybe it's
maybe it's good. Maybe I don't know.
But let's go ahead and get to the super chat questions. Looks like we got quite a few in there.
Oh, great! Awesome.
So yeah, thanks for hanging out with us and watching us talk about the Banana Splits movie. Let's see. Let's go ahead and start here. Impossible. Are you seeing Nightingale from the Babadook director? I really want to see Nightingale.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of advertisements for that. That looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't playing anywhere around Springfield, but as soon as I get the means to see it, yeah, absolutely, I'm going to see that. Adam Blunt, have you heard from Spoonie? I was in contact with him when we were doing the movie, but... yeah, we've hung out there a couple of times, like over the holidays and things like that. But no, I'd love to hang out with him again.
Yeah.
Hopefully I get a chance to before Laura and I move. Holly Blue Agitated, $5 for Lloyd Feline Rebellion. Oh, don't give him any ideas.
He's outside waiting.
Yeah, he's just
plotting, planning. Soon.
Mauricio Loya Fairfan. AMC is releasing The Matrix to select theaters for a week. I was wondering if they would do that because it is the 20th anniversary. Do you think you'll review it? My name is pronounced. Oh, I should have read that
Mauricio.
Mauricio. Okay.
Thank you.
What's the name of the play? Mercutio. Yeah, if it's, I would review The Matrix again, like on here. Yeah, if that comes in Springfield, totally.
Yeah,
I would
that'd be
totally
fun.
go see that.
Yeah, that'd be fun to see again.
Sinahani's Productions, Tra La 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 La.
Well, that's
Steve
the song.
Lund is the best part. Oh, for a second I was like, are they quoting? Are they trying to quote?
No, that's
it?
the Banana Split song.
Yeah, okay. Tra la la,
Tra
yeah.
la 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 la.
Yeah, I know that song. Like, when they started doing that, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I know what that is.
Yep.
In the movie. Mr. T-Bone SF. How about kickstarting Troma Presents Colby and Salty? Okay, speaking of, we've talked about doing that Hallmark Christmas movie.
Yes.
Well, first of all, a horror movie version of Colby and Salty, it's already kind of a horror film. Like, it's absolutely, you should do that. So when we get into like further drafts on the Christmas movie, you need to go see Ready or Not, because we might have to tweak a couple of things.
Oh, really? Oh.
Maybe we'll be fine. Oh. But Ready or Not is really good. But I sat there going
I do see what you mean now that I think about it. Just from the advertisements of that movie.
Right. Like, we might have to it might be fine. We're good.
It's okay. Nobody sees these movies. It's fine.
Noah, I really enjoyed your musical March and September's. Thank you. Your review of Shake, Rattle, and Rock was awesome. I also bought Dance and It's On. Loved your Oogie Loves review. And search for the Wibble Wobble Wazzy Woodle Woo. I think that's how that went. Wow Wow Wibble Wobble Wazzy Woodle Woo. Shit. So I hope I'm right on that. I had to say it that many times in the video.
Checks out with me.
Yeah. I'm glad when people talk about the musical episodes I did last year, because I love doing those 50s rock movies like Shake, Rattle, and Rock. And Rock Around the Clock and all that. They're like, no one watched them.
Oh, no.
It was like the lowest rated musical March in September. I'm like, man.
Oh, no.
I figured once I realized this was going to be my favorite, I was like, it's going to have the least views of the month. It's not a great time doing those. You watch those sometime. The old, like, 50s rock movies I did on there. E-Rich94. Any Mammal or James Bond reviews in the future? Yeah, totally. Manimal,
awesome.
Maybe, on, like, DVD or hell. Maybe. James Bond, yeah, I've been wanting to, because I'm a Bond freak, so I've been wanting to do James Bond stuff for a long time. Probably next year. But yeah, I'll start doing like the James Bond movies as episodes, like, yeah, maybe next year. Holly Blue Agitated. Do you think this is the beginning of the Hanna-Barbera R-rated cinematic universe? I'm down with that. Like, even though this one was... Maybe this could be like the Purge series, where the first one is just like really standard and by the numbers, but then it actually does grow from there.
Sure, yeah.
I'd be down with that.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Eli Neiman, what's worse, Gem or this? Oh, Gem and the Holograms by far.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I mean, granted, like, okay, like, if it's a bad movie party you're wanting, throw on Gem and the Holograms, by all means, but if we're talking anything else, yeah, this was a better movie. Also, the same guy who directed this movie voiced all the characters on the Banana Splits TV show and directed the Woody Woodpecker movie. Oh, the guy who voiced was in the Woody Woodpecker movie.
Yeah,
he voiced the character.
He didn't direct this movie. It was a woman who directed this movie.
It was the woman who did... Level 16.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I saw that the guy, they wanted to get the people from the original show, I think, but it like didn't work out or something. Like, I think they wanted Frank Welker and some people.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Lee Conway, thank you, Lee Conway, for the contribution. Stephen Otten, Lloyd for president.
That's a party I can get behind.
Yeah. Lloyd could primary Trump. I mean, Lloyd has his hardcore conservative values.